What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, the Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Back on the Bossman Show. See a friend of the show, my buddy Matt Figure, UTRGV, the Vaqueros out there, the whack. But my man's got the beard go. I love it. Fig, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. Just another day waiting, trying to get 1% better.
Man, I can't believe it's your third year, man. Like, and just tell me how's it grown up out there? I know you all getting football now, and the school is really on the rise. I mean, tell me what's going on in your world down there. How's it growing down there, man?
It's growing quick, man. Our university is taking on a lot of facility renovations and projects. Remodeling our arena. New practice facility. There's just a lot of great things going on. Like I said, football starting in 2 years. It's an area of growth. It's what I bought into when I came down here, and my biggest thing is just always knowing that my vision and administration's vision are always one and the same. I think when there's a lot of good coaches, and to become a head coach, you have to exceed or excel in your position as an assistant coach, and you get those opportunities, and you get them for a reason. It's not because you're dumb. And I really do think that winning and losing is such a fine line, and the one thing you can't have with your administration, and now in this day of world with the transfer portal and NIL, you can't have civil war in your athletic department. And so when you have everybody on the same page working for the same goal, it makes my job easier. It's not an easy job, but it makes it easier. So I feel like I have that here, and every day we're trying to get get 1% better. That's what I try to tell my guys every day. You got to be 1% better.
100%, Fig. You're right about that, because if you're not getting better, man, you're just being stagnant. You're getting worse. And
Yeah,
you want
that's
to
it.
always try to find that way to get better, whether it be on the court, off the court as a man, because you're not both. Basketball is very important, but being a good person is even more important. You and I both know that in our world today, it's chaos. And being a good person should still shine through all the chaos.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better, man. You just want to be. Every day, I try to become a better person. I try to instill my players to be better people. And I the one thing I do try to instill in my guys is be a worker. Because in this day and age, you if you work, good things will happen for you. I've been on this show a bunch. You and I've talked off topic about a lot of things, and we get off basketball sometimes. And the way our society is today, the workers are the ones that are the ones that are reaping the benefits of success. And I try to teach my guys, man, be a man, learn how to work, learn how to be a provider, learn how to be a giver, and great things will happen to you in your life.
Man, Fig, you're so right about that, man. I feel like, having you as a coach helps those young men see that, who you are. For Frank Martin, the same exact way. And, I can talk to Coach Martin at Lake Point this year for about 30 minutes right there on the court, man. He inspired me like crazy that he could say, I saw what you've done, JR, from grassroots to now, and I'm proud of you and the hard work you put in. And I count what you say, like working hard every day, man, having a job in the NBA, doing this show, doing consulting on the side, but it's all a passion for me because I want to help people, Fig. I want to be a leader, a servant leader for people. I have a platform. I've been blessed to use what I have to help others, leverage it to help others. That's what I want to do. Now,
and your city's one of the hot spots that gets all the national attention, man. You're in a hot spot of the United States right now that gets a lot of attention. So, being able to be a guy that's trying to help people always is a big thing, especially in your town. And I don't say that in a negative or positive way. I just say that Atlanta is a area that's always on the news, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yes, you got that right. Good, bad, or indifferent, man. You got that right. Fig, and it's something I want you. I know you just made you very happy. The Sure Guys was number one community service. I know that's very important to you. Talk about so that in your guys to serve others and help others as well, and being number one in all of the NCAA for community service hours.
Well, that's something I'm very big on is when you learning how to be a man is learning how to be a giver. And we don't do community service for publicity. I don't. Jonah's on the call with us right now, and I don't try to draw attention to look at us, we're out doing public service. No, I don't. I think it instills just learning how to be a man. And my thing is to win in the game of basketball, the game of life, you got to win everything the day that you're trying to do. And so we went out last year and we might not have been the best in all areas on the court or whatever, but there's one area that you cannot say that we weren't the best in all men's sports. And that's doing community service hours, giving back to our community. And so we set the bar pretty high, and we got to continue to do those things. You got to win every area. And that way winning takes care on the court.
No doubt, Fig. And I'm going to ask you last year, at what point did you realize your team turned the corner? I know you won 8 games a year, one tough year, but you actually winning 15 games. At what point last year did you feel like in your mind your team had turned the corner to head into kind of building what you want to have for those guys to be playing the right way?
We JR, it's a fine line, winning and losing. Year one, you have setbacks, and this was same as South Carolina. Early on at Austin Peay, we had setbacks, but at Austin Peay, I could see growth. And year one, we got growth pretty fast. We went from a 7-win team prior to my arrival to a 19-win team. So that was one of the biggest turnarounds in the country. This league's a little different than the OVC at that time. From top to bottom, it doesn't get the recognition it deserves. I would put this league right on the same level with we were rated, I think, the 11th or 12th best league in the country. So that's right on, A10, Conference USA, that type of basketball, right somewhere in that ballpark. To me, that's a high major conference. And the league is unforgiving from top to bottom. This league is so well coached. But to your point, we were in the ballpark of possession here, possession there, of being closer to a 20-win team. But we're also a possession here, possession there of losing games too. So it's just such a fine line. But I think I've seen glimpses of our team turning the corner. We were one of only 2 teams to win at Tarleton this year, which people don't know what Tarleton State is. It's one of the hardest places in the country to win at. We were one of 2 teams to win there. We won at Grand Canyon, which represented our league in the NCAA tournament. We were 14 seconds from winning at Southern Utah, lost in overtime, which they played in the league championship. So I see those things when we go on the road. You measure growth by how you play on the road. And we were able to do some of those things. And last year we won 12 home games. Defending home court and then going on the road and where you got about as much odds of winning on the road in college basketball as you do going out in Las Vegas and winning in blackjack. So maybe not. Maybe your odds in blackjack are better in Las Vegas than it is win on the road. So when you can start winning road games is when you start knowing that your program's getting better. And so that's where I think we started making strides.
And Fig, you're right about that. I've told fans this over the years on this show that games come down to it's possession here or there. It's very small margins between being 20 or 12, like you said. And I think fans will understand that those small plays the coaches always detail about in film sessions and practice. What's what makes the difference between win and lose? We call those plays trying to win the game, win plays, hustle plays. Even the NBA where I'm at, no matter how the game goes,
think about the most
down to the end.
Yeah, think about you're involved with the most elite level players. The Golden State Warriors, if I'm not mistaken, won the NBA title, correct?
Denver did this year, but
we talk about Golden State and how good they are. I don't know what I'm sleeping on. The Joker was terrific. But anyway, Golden State, they went through a stretch where on the road they couldn't win.
Correct.
They couldn't win on the road. I mean, it's hard to win on the road, man. And teams that persevere and figure it out, they're good. They're really good. And that's where it's hard to win on the road. I don't know any sport in any pro sports that winning on the road is harder than basketball. And that's why I have so much respect for these teams that figure it out and do such a great job of being elite. And that's where we're striving to go.
No doubt. Last year here at the Hawks, we only won 14 road games out of 41. That's not good. And the goal is in the NBA is when you want to split them or go, as best you can. But it's like you see, even when the Golden State came up to Atlanta, they was up in the fourth quarter. And then they started missing shots. Of course, and Draymond fouled out. So, but it's like all those things happen. It's like what you said, a team that good couldn't get overthrown win at all, like you said. So it's just so paramount to really lock in on your keys.
And they have potentially 3 Hall of Famers on their team.
Yes. That's what makes it so crazy. You're so right, man. And I was like, man, it's funny you say that because I feel like fans didn't realize those margins for sure. And let me ask you this, Fig, because I never asked you last year. Can you explain the WAC resume system for seeding? Because I don't really understand it, but the fans don't understand it either. So could you kind of just give us a little brief preview of what that really is?
I will try because I don't know if I understand it.
Okay.
It, it is more based on your total, just like the NCAA tournament looks at a resume. Our system is the only one in the country that's doing it, but it takes your non-conference into play as well. And so, obviously, this year we're at 11 teams, so we're going to have a balanced schedule. So we're going to have a true champion. So everybody's playing everybody twice. So it'll be more defined this year. But it's based on your opponents in conference. Obviously, we're going to be they're going to take the top 8 teams in the league this year will make the tournament, and that's not changing. Your conference record won't change. So if the Vaqueros are 12-8 or whatever, and we get in the top 8, we qualify for the tournament. But where the seeding comes in, it takes in your whole body of work. So if this year our schedule, we play at TCU, we play at Oklahoma. If we somehow were to win 1 or 2 of those games, we will get more points for winning a game like that on the road. We play Hawaii on a neutral. If we win, we get more points for playing Hawaii away from home and winning that game. But just like if we play Corpus Christi at home and lose, we lose points for that. So it's just the same way the NCAA does the resume building, more or less. That's the best way I can explain it.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this, man. How challenging is it to try to schedule being in the WAC, knowing how good it is? I know the scheduling is, like we all know, this is one of your hardest things to do. How challenging is it trying to schedule knowing that the WAC is so good and teams don't really want to maybe come play you at your place, so you have to go on neutral sites and dates have to work? How tough is it, man?
It's the most difficult thing that as being a coach is getting games, good, bad, or indifferent. With it, scheduling is the hardest thing. The two things, scheduling's one, and 1B is probably recruiting. Everything else is easy compared to those two things. So scheduling, you have to find somebody that will take on to travel down here. That's number one. And then B, finding what fits in your schedule. We're playing 3 neutral games this year, just because it's hard to find people that will come here and play because of travel. Those things all take shape. Is that, do you want to make the trip where you're, like a lot of teams that can't charter? Do they want to fly through Houston or Dallas to get to here? Or do they want to get on a bus and travel 6-7 hours to get here? And the same goes for me. How many times do I want to put my team in those situations, knowing that in the WAC, you got to play at Seattle, you got to play in Riverside, California, you got to play in Phoenix, you got to play in Salt Lake City. That takes a toll. The NBA is proof of that. And that's why it's hard to win on the road, is because you got to travel so much, and you guys are traveling better than anyone else, but it's still hard. So those are hard. We can sit and talk about that all day. It's hard.
No doubt, Fig. But I tell you what, man, especially on a back-to-back, especially on the just I was just say, I know I'm not trying to throw it on the bus, but I must tell you, we played in Miami, keyword Miami, and had played the Minnesota on a back-to-back last year.
That's crazy. I mean, you're playing Miami on a 7:00 on a Monday or Tuesday, and then you got to play in Minneapolis on a 7:00 the next night. That's, when I was younger, I used to hang out with some NBA guys back in the day, and they have their home stands. And I remember I went and watched I think I was in Houston at the time, and I watched the Rockets and the Supersonics play at the time. And Denver was coming to town the next night. So Denver was someplace, and then they're coming to town. And so as soon as, Denver comes to town, the guys on the Rockets have a lot of the Nuggets guys out till the wee hours of the morning. And then they got to turn around and play that night. So it's a hard thing, man.
Yeah, we call those schedule losses. Yeah. We got blown out the next night. Trust and believe. Yeah. That's 3-hour flight from Miami.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've when I coached in the Big 12, we're sitting there and we're on the tarmac with the Nuggets getting ready to fly out of Denver, and they're traveling to New York or something to go play in New York, and it was like we were sitting on the tarmac at 12:30 that night, going back home to play, going back to Manhattan, and they were going to New York, and they're sitting on the tarmac with us at 12:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. And so now there's this new CBA fig. Now you can play 2 times over now. So think about this: Atlanta can actually play Denver on a back-to-back now, and because of the 2 times, it used to be 1 time zone. Yeah. Now it's 2. So Denver can be sent to the East Coast to play on a back-to-back now because of the new CBA now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, what I'll find interesting is what's going to happen in Las Vegas right before Christmas. I think that puts also a new flavor and a new interest to the league as well. I think that tournament in Las Vegas is going to be a home run.
Yeah, I hope we get to go to, because our group was the Cavs, Indiana, Detroit. We should win some of those games, maybe make quarters. Hopefully, I'm praying it's going to go to Vegas again. And plus, we'll have 2 teams. We'll have a team there real soon. After this TV deal's done, we'll have Vegas. Vegas will be coming in as a team really soon with Seattle. So that's coming down the pipe too, Fig. Let me ask you, Fig. For your guys this summer, getting them on the court, what's some guys you really want to highlight who got better this summer for you guys? Who you expect to have a big year for you this year?
Well, Bossman, this is we actually have returning players. So we have 7 returners. Unfortunately, we lost our 7-foot kid to an Achilles injury early in August, which was a shame because he was having a great summer. A kid named John Chanu, 7-foot kid. You know how those bigs develop. But I think every returner is taking a step. I expect Aaron Freeman and Dalen Williams, who are 2 returning starters, to take the next step for us. A local kid from Atlanta, it's on our team, C.J. Jackson. He's got abilities. He's a good utility player that I think he should take a step. We have a 7-foot kid, Alex Farouk, who I didn't play a lot last year, but again, 7-footers take time to develop. But I also think, with that being said, I think we're able to continue to, when your program's building, you continue to upgrade recruiting. And so I think the kids we got coming in are going to keep pushing the needle. So the one thing I think we have better than any other year is we've got speed and depth. So that makes competition better.
No doubt. And if I was going to ask you this, man, how grateful are you to win this new world of having summer? Because back when I played and when you played, we showed up October 15th. We had to get ready for a game in 3 weeks. So how cool is it there to have time to actually prepare with your guys from the spring through the summer through fall training camp, rather than showing up in October and saying, "Hey." Well,
there's dual implications. Obviously, it's good because you can get your hands on the guys and help them grow. And I have seen a lot of guys get better from that. But also there's some drawbacks to it. You open yourself up for more injury. That's obviously one thing. But with this day and age, with any team that has 6 or 7 returning players, experience is so important. And so you're able to grow because you got experience. And so you're not having to reteach everything over and over and over again. There's teams that will have 10, 11 new guys on their roster this year. That becomes hard for a coach that you have to constantly, you're never getting a chance to grow. You're always staying in the same spot. I think you're seeing a lot in college football right now. where you've got more teams. Georgia's still clearly the best. But I think the gaps between teams are now shrinking. Now that's why you got to go to a 12-team playoff, because you used to be able to define the 4 best teams. Now through the transfer portal, NIL, now some teams that were not considered in that elite level, they're now starting to pony up, as some of these coaches are saying, and their collectives and things like that are drawing more players to a place that wouldn't go before. So, but I still think continuity is the biggest thing. And I think that's where Georgia is still the best, because if I look at their roster, they got continuity. They may not have guys on their team that contributed national championship minutes, but those guys stayed in the program. The only place, and I don't know Kirby Smart from a can of paint, but if I looked at his roster and I said, where did he only explore the transfer portal? One position, wide receiver. No other position does he got portal kids. So I think he's got a blueprint that more coaches will get, and it'll transfer over to basketball as well. We got to have retention at this position. And so I think that's where, going back to your question of the summer, that's where it becomes important, is having retention at certain positions.
No doubt. Having continuity is everything, because I look at it almost being free agency almost in college sports, but they're not here on the portal. It's like, like I said, where's this guy going? Like I said, at least you know what you have. You have guys who know your system. It can help the young guys come into your program, grow and learn how you all do things. That's very important. How we practice, how we warm up, how we eat, how we go to study hall. All those are important. When you got 12 new guys, you're trying to build on the fly. You're asking for a disaster to happen.
Absolutely. And I'll go back to Georgia, and this is where I think our program, we've got front court continuity. So I think that's where hopefully we take some strides, is that we have front court continuity. And so we've got a new backcourt, but I think backcourts are you can get better faster by having new backcourt players than you can by having new front court players. And I think that's where we will be better, is that we've got front court continuity.
No doubt. With Fig, it's always good to talk to you, my brother. I'm cheering for you as always, man. I can tell I do miss you, man. I wish you were closer, but it's all good, man. And before you go, man, can you show me off there about taking your son to Vegas Summer League and about how fun it is for guys to the show? Can you share that with the listeners here before you close up, Fig, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no. If there is a parent out there that watches this or listens to a father, one of the best father-son bonding deals is the Las Vegas Summer League. I took my son there this year. We spent 4 days in between, when he was playing AAU basketball, but we spent 4 days just sitting in the gym and literally watched, where can you watch every NBA team play at? And I was there for I think it was the Trailblazers and the Rockets game that was phenomenal, where Jabari Smith hit that shot, and then obviously the Wembanyama phenomenon, that was insane. I mean, your people are paying to just those days that San Antonio were paying. You can buy a ticket for $40 and sit general admission anywhere you want in the arena. And so on the days that San Antonio played, man, you were paying you're paying scalper prices if you don't get your tickets early, just to see Wembanyama show up. I think he played 2 games. Mm-hmm. My son was fortunate enough to watch him play 2 games. But just the future stars of the league, the Thompson brothers, him, and then seeing some of the second year guys, watching them grow with their teams. I think the league's in a great place, but it's a great. It's people think of Las Vegas as being an adult town. Well, the NBA has now made it to where it can be a kids' town too, by coming and spending X number of days watching those watching the summer league, and it's great. And I would suggest any father that's sitting out there listening, watching, grab your kid and go to Las Vegas right after 4th of July because it's a great deal.
No doubt. Fig, I think it's always for your time, brother. Like I told you, I do miss you, man. I'm cheering for you as
Miss
always,
you too,
brother.
man. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, you look good, man. Keep good work. Tell Nikita I said hello, and Joe I said hello, man. And I miss those guys, too.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself.
I see you, buddy.
All right, man.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z. Sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews. You name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, the Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.